Thank you, Mr. Chairman. When Chairman Comer announced this hearing, he stated that he shared the concerns of the Republican attorneys general testifying today that ESG principles are being used by progressives to shape corporate behavior. This is a question for Mr. Fredericks. I disagree. Instead of a mixture of political theater and disinformation, Republicans are pandering to anti-ESG stalwarts, including big oil proponents, by attempting to influence the criteria of financial professionals. ESG has wide-reaching support from climate activists to the investment industry to investors, all for different yet legitimate reasons. Climate advocates support ESG principles because they may accelerate the transition to low-carbon economy and could help slow the climate crisis. The investment industry supports ESG because integrating responsible investment factors into the investment process can lead to prudent risk management and potentially better retirement outcomes for millions of Americans. Investors support ESG because as consumers, they demand to invest their hard-earned money in companies that reflect their values and promote governance. Mr. Fredericks, as the Illinois State Treasurer, you are the main investor and asset manager for public funding in your state. Do you support using ESG principles as part of responsible investing for the state of Illinois?
Most certainly we do. It's fundamental to our risk analysis, which is our main responsibility for our pensioners, for our college savers, to make sure that they do not suffer some of those risks that we have seen with collapses of companies like Enron, like Purdue Pharma.
Would you say there is widespread support for ESG in Illinois across political spectrums?
I would say within the investment community, there has been increasing support. A significant percentage of investors, public asset managers out there, consider this ESG data in their investments. The only thing radical going on right now, the only major change going on is this pushback. I hear a lot of concern for banks being bullied or muscled or told what to do. But I only know of one piece of legislation in the state of Texas that told banks where they have to invest. If you had asked me 30 years ago what I thought the odds of me defending the free market against a Republican legislature trying to have a planned economy mandating what businesses have to invest in, I would have laughed. But that's where we are today.
Well, Mr. Fredericks, support for ESG is derived not only from investors wanting to ensure their money is going to worthy companies, but also the financial benefits of responsible investing. According to research on returns from responsible investment, taking into account ESG factors offers greater long-term resilience and lower risks due to factoring in all potential costs to society, such as climate change and pollution. For example, companies that are less reliant on fossil fuels are more likely to be considered good long-term investments than companies that remain heavily dependent on them. Similarly, corporations that are more diverse and more reflective of the U.S. population are better suited to meet the needs of consumer demands of an increasingly diverse marketplace. Mr. Fredericks, can you explain why these types of considerations are so important to investors?
Well, I can explain, or I can ask a question, do you know which companies out there were happy that they made efforts over the last several years to decarbonize? European countries affected by Vladimir Putin's war against Ukraine and with a rising spike in energy costs are happy they made those decisions. They limited risk from things like that aggression, but they also benefit from this climate transition. This is not all about costs. There are opportunities that come with climate change. And businesses that are positioning themselves to be at the forefront there are businesses that are going to be profitable in the future. Those are the businesses we want to be investing in.
ESG is widely supported across the country and the political spectrum. Countless investors and asset managers have pivoted to focus on responsible investing because of the benefits it provides for the world and Americans' wallets. I yield back.